Greetings and welcome in. Hey, if you're looking to buy or sell a home in the Salt Lake City area, a lot of this information will be beneficial to you, even if you're not looking to do so within the next couple of months. Hey, by the way, my name's Edward Fuller, local real estate agent out here in Salt Lake City, Utah. If you want to get in contact with me, by all means, shoot me a text or give me a call. You can find my information in the description below. There's also a link where you can register on my website, and I will personally reach out to you. So in this video, I'm going to touch on some of the national real estate news along with some of the local real estate news and go into some developments of properties that you're going to be able to purchase, and maybe those will actually bring them down the price a little bit of this crazy market we're having. So let's go ahead and look at the national news. So national news, home prices went up a little bit. So they're currently right now they're at 406,000, which is up 2.2% from the previous quarter. I think that's largely in part due to the rates did come down a little bit. Still not a lot of homes available, so we had an uptick in people purchasing, and that's maybe why we had a little bit of a bump in those prices. Redfin actually decided to throw their hat in the ring of bold predictions for 2024, and I'll use bold lightly. It's interesting. I'm not entirely in agreement with what they're predicting, but we'll dive into them, and then I'll tell you why I don't agree with them actually. So they're anticipating a 1% growth, a 1% decrease in property values, home values next year, with a 4% actual increase in the amount of homes that are sold, which I do wholeheartedly agree that we will see an uptick in sales, especially once those rates start to slide in the right position or the right way for everyone. And a lot of homeowners will get used to the fact that maybe 3 and 4% isn't really coming around again. There was actually a study that said 60% of home sellers would consider selling their property even though they had a 2 or a 3% range mortgage rate if the rates got closer to that 5% range. Lastly, Redfin's prediction on rates, they think that we'll have 6.9% most of the way through the first portion of the year, and then ending at 6.6%. So Q4, the end, that's what they feel like we will end at. So quickly to go back, why I disagree with their 1% decrease. So if we have sellers that they do get back into the market, so they decide to sell a property, well, some of those will become a buyer. So yeah, we might have some inventory, but everything's going to move together. We won't really have a increase where sellers and then they don't buy, and we have buyers that have available inventory. So that's where I kind of see like 1% decrease, maybe a 1% increase. But I really don't see that happening the way they're looking at. They also had a little blurb in this thing that I read that renting is going to lose its stigma. And I'm not entirely sure what they're meaning on this one. I believe it's in part that, since it's so unaffordable, that renting is going to look really appealing. And as far as I know, our government is really doing subsidies to incentivize builders to do a lot of rental properties and offer those out so they can get that cost of shelter down and more favorable to you, the consumer. So with mortgage rates being in the 6.8 to 7.2% range, a lot of metropolitan areas actually saw significant decreases, and they actually are still being hit hard today and still showing signs of slowing. So the top 5 that I found is Austin, Texas at a whopping 10.3%. So their values have dropped 10.3%. Honolulu, Hawaii dropped 5.8%. And then you have Jackson, Mississippi, Shreveport, and then Cape Coral, Florida come in at 4.8, 4.6, and 3.6 respectively. So even the national average with it going up, there is some heavy populous areas that are showing some signs of weakening, or at least, the price is coming down, but I still think it's far from a crash. So let's see, existing family homes with 20% down was about, so this is your monthly, so about $2,192. That's actually up 7% from the second quarter, and about 19% from a year ago. That's because those rates, which is no surprise. I mean, with those high rates, we're in a super unaffordable housing market. So it's no surprise that those numbers are coming up. So mortgage rates do continue to fall this week. We've had quite a bit of reprieve, which is really, really nice. The average 30% fixed rate fell to about 7.2. A year ago, the average was actually 6.5. Despite where we are now, I'm feeling pretty confident next year we might get into that low 6, maybe even touch the 5. So let's go into local developments in the Salt Lake City area. So this is a lot of the properties or homes that are being built, specifically in the multi-unit. So multi-unit is also considered like high density, where it's high rises, condos, townhomes, things of that nature. Sugar House has a huge expansion. They're doing like they're going to have 1,400 new homes built. And the affected area is between 19th South and I-80, and then 7th to 13th East. A couple of the projects, one is Altaterra, and then you have Sugartown, and then Altaterra North. Altaterra South is about 113 units being developed there. They have studios, 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, and these are all condos. Sugartown has 319 units, and I learned something new today about a micro unit. I had no idea what this was. A micro unit is basically a studio, but it's qualified as 350 square feet or less. In the Sugartown unit, they're doing 39 of those within a mixture of studios, 1 bedrooms and 2 bedroom units. The Altaterra North, it's actually still pending their approval for development, as far as I know, and that's going to be about 228 units. So they're really ratcheting up and trying to bring that affordability down, affordability to you guys and make it a little bit better for purchasing. Now we're going to kind of cruise on over to the southern end of the valley, Harriman. So I'm going to highlight the Toll Brothers. So this is actually a more luxury brand, but they're offering some really great incentives. One being with the move-in ready homes, ones that are pre-built, looking at 4.9%. So they're offering that, and you get a 2-1 buy down. So it does incrementally go up. I do have a video about 2-1 buy downs. You can go visit that if you so choose. And then their developments, one is Denali Estates, and then Glen Sycamore. And like I said, these are the higher end, and these are all ranging from like 800 to 900. Some more down to earth, for us simple folks areas is one, Ivory Homes. They're offering in Daybreak for eligible buyers. Move-in ready homes, and this is actually going to be good until December 31st of this year, where they're offering an interest rate as low as 4.625. That's incredible. The amount of savings right there is going to be insane. So if we just go from current rate down like 1% on 400,000, your $2,900, that's about a $300 savings at least. Well, not that much. About $300. And then homes, same thing, move-in ready homes. And this is also in the Daybreak area. I'm not sure if this one's still going, but they're offering 5.75% with that 2-1 buy down. So it does go up incrementally. One other thing I want to touch on is this incentive program. I'm not entirely sure if you have heard about this, but it's called SB 240. It's a program that actually is there to assist first-time home buyers. I believe it's only for like 2,400 people that get to use this grant, so I'm not entirely sure if it's still available, but you can get upwards about $20,000 assistance for a newly constructed home. This is really, really great because I understand that with the high rates and the barrier to entry, that getting every little bit helps. So that $20,000 goes towards your down payment or whatever have you. Lastly, numbers. Not everybody likes numbers, but they're really important to understand kind of what the market's doing. And also it's important to understand for the future of the market. So currently, Salt Lake County, the average home price is at $537,415. I know, very specific, which is showing a 2.3% decrease from the previous year. And then active listings, so it's 2.3. It's hold on, let me back up. It's down 2.3% from the previous year, but a 1% increase from last month. And that goes in line with the national average, where we saw the rates tick down a little bit. There's still a lot of demand behind all that. So as soon as those rates dropped a little bit, some people got comfortable with what it was, went ahead and jumped on in. Active listings, they are still declining, which this is something that I don't want to see. So I figured we would obviously, going into winter, every time we have, homes, the amount of homes available goes down. I was hoping it would just stay flat and, not really move, not really go anywhere. But we've actually seen nearly a 4% decline. So we were at 9,000 homes. Now we're at like 8,600 homes. And this is the worrisome part, because when those rates do come down, and even though we might have some sellers, break loose from their property and decide to, get that upgrade, we need more homes to bring these prices down a little bit and make it more affordable and get some more, what's the word I'm looking for? Competition out there to make the home affordable for you guys. Well, that about wraps it up. Hopefully I didn't bore you with all the statistics, but I find them really, really important because it makes you a good buyer or a seller, because you know exactly what's happening. And it also kind of shows the forecast for next year, like with the low inventory and what that could provide and what that's going to do. So always consult a professional, not your Aunt Flo. She's probably a great lady, but not exactly, in the know when it comes to real estate. If you want to get in contact with me, by all means, text me or call me. You can also find my information, or get on the link in the description below and jump over to my website, and then I'll reach out to you guys. So love y'all. God bless. Have a great day.